guys, check this out. Finally, after forever, I scored one of these. Clean title, boat's fairly in good shape except for, well, the front's all jacked up. And then, I know it's a little dirty. We'll have to probably take it out and spray it before we do anything to it. Hey guys, really quick, and I do mean quickly, I want to introduce to you the RPD vertical tackle storage system. They are phenomenal. They'll store literally anything, and enough of them can offset the need to even make storage in your Jon Boat. We already had these before. They were all aluminum welded and powder coated. People complained about the price and said they didn't do enough. So this thing is like a quarter of the price and does actually more. If you're just looking for some immediate relief with some of your must-have items right on hand, this might be all you need for your boat. You can do it right away. Comes in 4 different colors, the most prominent in the boat market. Check them out. RPD Vertical Tackle Storage here on tbnation.net. Product is pinned to this video. Pretty, I mean, yeah, the transom's busted. I'm not a fan of how the transom's done. As you can tell, it's an old boat. Well, for one, this thing's got knots in it. At least it's not treated plywood, right? It's just like regular plywood, so the transom is in pristine shape, no corrosion. It has this weird lip, though. Yeah, not a fan of that either. That means we'll have to make some sort of thick plate to even out where the motor is going to actually end up, which is kind of okay because we're probably going to end up adding pods to this. So this will end up being more like a 16-foot long boat by the time we're done. So we'll be making our own version of pods for the boat. I think it's just something it needs to make it a whole lot better. And then I'm just looking at all of it here. Not a bad find. Now, I have never done a 1436 Jon Boat, ever. I have looked for them, I could never find them. Chris and Ryan did a really good job on that Weekend Warrior boat, like finishing this boat in one weekend, doing a pretty conservative, keep it simple build that anybody can mostly do. It's one of the most popular videos and one of our most popular kits. But I don't want to really replicate another simple Weekend Warrior build. I kind of have always wanted to just deck out a 1436 to the max. Kind of like we did with the Yak Killer, that 1232 Jon Boat. I've been waiting to find one in good enough condition, just, I mean, for a reasonable price to do this. I mean, better late than never. It's 10 years in the looking, really like 5, but the whole point is we got one. I can think of a whole lot of things we can do here. Can make this thing really cool and really functional. We're probably gonna have to build a trailer for it. It did not come with a trailer. It's part of the reason why it was so cheap. So a trailer will have to be built. But I mean, we're getting pretty pro at building trailers since trailers seem to be a frequent problem with every boat we ever get. So for every boat that I've done, I've almost done equivalently as many trailers. Once we have a really good foundation, then we'll totally just kind of dig into the boat. We might just start building the boat right now. Kind of torn on this because I have a 1448 that I think I could put a really good kind of simplistic Weekend Warrior kit inside that one and do some really cool things for that one. Get that one done in a week, flip it out of here. But if you look at this one, things to look for in a boat, it's got a few little scars here and there. It's gonna have some bumps. This thing is old and archaic. If it doesn't have any damage on it, it means it was never used. So what I'm looking for though is like loose rivets. I don't see a whole lot of them. All the buck rivets look pretty tight. Just simple spots here and there where there's a dent or a deformation. Not a big deal. It's a smoker craft. It's pretty sick. I like these. The fact that these are actually able to be taken off and put back on. I think that's pretty useful. We'll probably end up making our own end caps because we're going to end up having to redo the transom anyways, and we'll probably try and tie it into the pods since the pods are going to be a thing. Then we'll probably have to make a new drain plug of some sort. I don't think that can stay there if we add pods. Yeah, that part might come out. The little transom support, which just is a little bootleg piece of sheet metal, that probably will have to come out. Then we should have a pretty clean slate. I think the back of the boat will be the most complex. The front up here is pretty janky. The front is as janky as it gets. It's had a hard life, the front. I don't know what used to be here. Something had to have been here. There's like spots, but there's nothing here now, and this piece needs tremendous amounts of help. So we'll probably be having to redo the whole front too. So the front and the back of the boat, the two most important pieces before you really get into any sort of build, need to be done here. It's also got like a recess in here. I don't know what that's all about. I mean, it almost just gives you an excuse to fill it with a thicker piece of metal. Like, just like for like ramming abilities. I could even V-taper this if I wanted to make it like a Coast Guard hull and make it point. I don't know if I want to do that. Extending the boat longer than it needs to be already with the pods and then doing it to the front would make it really long, and then I guess less portable or more of a pain. I kind of like the flat bottom. I don't like how the flat bottom does in the water, but that might even just be enough of a reason to mod it to a V, because a mod V Jon Boat actually does tremendously better in water. You wouldn't think that just little V helps you, but it helps a lot versus the smack. The wave smack in the boat, not good for the boat. We'll probably have to make this boat unsinkable because it's so small. We're gonna put a lot of weight in it and it'll be very easy to capsize. So there's gonna be a lot of pour foam. We'll probably bring back the vented flooring because the subfloor is so small and skinny. The ribs are only like barely over an inch high. It's got typical Jon Boat spine draining. Yeah, the floor has got to be vented because we're probably going to have to use, I think, like the pink foam sheets, which I don't necessarily. I think this probably will be an all-electric boat. It's unlikely I'll put a gas outboard on this. And if I do, I have to be cautious that no gas ever spills into the transom and leaks into the floor and implodes it. That's the only real downside to pink foam, is that it will melt under gas. Like getting actual AB foam board would work a little better. You'd still have to seal it in the ends and keep it from being a sponge. Kind of, I don't know, foam is a pain, but it is what it is. Vented flooring in the compartments, dual rod lockers, like storage all the way down the core of different types, day boxes if we can swing it, foam pockets around the tubes. We're going to be using the black PVC, which is the lightest stuff. I think we could do some very cool things on this boat. I think it could be a winner. Like the next one, the one that I have been meaning to do for a while, but kind of have been, I don't know, distracted with other things. But we're getting back to business here. What I might do is I might just prep and clean this one and get it started, but I really will probably take that 1448 and stick it in here. It's already on a trailer. That one will be the easiest. We'll be simplistically framing it, very easy with no welding. Put wooden decks in it. We're gonna have to redo the transom on that one, but we'll be converting it from a 16-inch or 15-inch to a 20-inch transom because the only motor I got to put on it is 20 inches. And that, I mean, that boat in and of itself should be a lot more stable than this one, but that one will just be a simplistic, nice, easy, light build. It should be able to do really well with that 25. I don't know, if you really want us to do the 1448 first, I guess that would be the fastest and most functional build. Can do some pretty cool things on that. We might even be able to add a center console into that one. So if you want that one done before this one, we can kind of push that one. Really, we'll have to be doing them all in spots too, because there'll be days where we're letting paint cure or primer cure or the bottom cure or something stupid. And we can't touch these holes for days on end, so we can just dig into the other one anyways. We'll probably end up doing these both side by side. They're both lightweight, small, able to fit in my garage, and not really that big of a problem. The pontoon boat has become a pretty major project. I'll just be working on that in the shadows and then updating you when I've got something actually to show. I found an air conditioned like unit that I can actually work out. I've got permission. A little bit more money for the storage, but it totally beats like renting a shop somewhere out here, or definitely it beats working outside. So somewhere between all three of those, we should have 3 boats done by the end of the summer. And Chris is also continuing to work on the Weekend Warrior duck build. That's also 1436. So we have some pretty cool Jon Boat stuff coming out. And then we have some cool stuff coming into the fall. All projects for you guys. Stay tuned to check them out.